Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is part 2 of a Commercial-to-Resi tour I filmed with Joe Robertson over in Greater Manchester. And if you're someone who's looking to scale up into larger developments, or you're just curious about how these bigger deals actually work in the real world, you're gonna get a lot from this one. In this part of the tour, we delve into floor plans, including how the layout has evolved throughout the planning process. And Joe also shares his thoughts on which councils are actually developer friendly and open to working with you, rather than like most of them, which work against you. We also touch on something which I think is massively underrated, and that's the power of being part of an active community of other investors and developers. That kind of support and perspective is invaluable when you're tackling more complex projects. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, I definitely recommend going back and checking that out. We talked about the viewing stage, the mindset it takes to go after this size of deal, and the importance of having multiple exit strategies. And if you want to connect with Joe or follow his journey, I'll leave his link to his Instagram in the description below. He's someone who's doing massive things in and around Manchester. And as always, if you enjoy this kind of content, real site tours, developer interviews, and investment breakdowns, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe and turn the bell on so you don't miss what's coming next. And let's get into it.
The architect could could draw the walls into the natural points without, with here, because the windows are so big, that's like one bedroom is, having all those windows. Yeah. One's there, which they get these bigger rooms, and we're just stuck by the windows basically, because it's conservation area, we can't change any windows. Right. So they're staying put where they are. But like I say, we've had to go on this floor ourselves rather before the professional guy come in. And in place, it's come up really well, and with a couple more attempts, it'll be sound, and then you could just protect it, varnish it, and seal it. So it's an option to keep that. We might just keep it in the communals and then carpet the bedroom still. Yeah, we'll see how it looks and have a play with it. So it might be a bit cold or noisy.
Yeah, possibly, yeah. What in terms of the rooms up here then, they're going to be double occupancy, so what's the square footage for them?
The smallest one's 18 metres squared, not including the ensuite as well. So it's probably 20, so they're all really decent. Like I say, like that's the thing, and there's a corridor along the back. So other than a corridor, that's someone's bedroom.
Oh, that's massive, isn't it?
There's one there, one there, so they're enormous. You could, like I say, for the occupants of the council's regs, they could be classed as, they were big enough to be bed sits. Okay. But with bed sits, I would have to start paying individual council taxes on them. Yeah, which I didn't want to do. So basically there's 1, 2, 3 up to here. And then there's like a corridor here, and I think, I can't remember what this bit is, but there's 4, 5 and 6 going along here. That's just all a corridor, that. So I think that's the 6th there. And then we go into between those communal toilets. And this area here is going to be a really large lounge kitchen area.
The communal space for them.
Lounge, kitchen, dining. So they've got the cinema room as a separate thing, but this is going to be like the main sort of communal one. They want a bit of time, space on their own, or date nights and stuff like that. It works for really, doesn't it? So it's nice.
And then, so has there been any stipulation on parking for you in your planning?
No. Because it's town centre, basically, was the big ticket for that. So town centre, the bike storage. And then lastly, so that those car parks there, you have to pay for them, but they do like monthly and yearly contracts because of the council owned. So everyone can get a permit. I think it was like, I think it was 30 quid a month for a space.
Oh, that's okay. That's not too bad for them, is it?
Cost me more than that in parking tickets. They keep grabbing me. Well, they've just put in like card meters, whereas at first it was just cash. I was going, it's a quid. I'd happily pay a quid, but I never had cash on me. They kept grabbing me.
And then in terms of, so you said you're getting an interior designer in it. Is that to just make sure everything's super nice, super high spec? It's what I want, but it's ultimately it's to sell to the tenants. It's what the tenant demographic we're targeting, what they want, what do they want to see, and again, people with the right experience. I went to visit a mate of mine. He's just done a commercial conversion to 8-bed HMO. Had interior designer in, and it was stunning. I was looking at it going, I'd happily live here myself. They're targeting a younger demographic, but I was like, if something happened with my missus or I needed to, whatever, I could live in here, I'd love it as well. And he reckoned that the service was that good. He just found this girl on Instagram as well. So the service was that good that he just gave her a budget of X amount per room. I think it was like £1,000 per room, which I thought was phenomenally cheap. And she then did all the design.
including like tiles, square meters, absolutely everything, and all the furniture. Sent him a link, and then he could go to that website and just click it, and all the furniture would then arrive. And he said it was that simple, and he reckoned because of their contact and relationship that even if he tried to do it himself, it would be half as good and you know, a lot more expensive. So it's like her service was practically free.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I mean, some of the HMOs that have been around now, like you say, it's just they're absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
They're absolutely phenomenal. Like,
yeah, it's a different class now, isn't it?
Yeah. It's got to be. Yeah, it's got to be.
Like you were saying before, if you put an air fryer in, since I've got an air fryer, I've never used my oven.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So like, if you can make a coffee without that friction of always having to come to the communal space, and there might be people. Sometimes you're really up for it. You're feeling social, and it's an amazing luxury to have. And sometimes you really can't be bothered.
Yeah, you just want to stay in your room.
Yeah. You want to stay in your room. You've had a late night. You've long shift at work. You've got your own ensuite. You can make a cup of tea. You've got an air fryer. You've got a seat. You've got a kettle.
Yeah.
You're absolutely fine in a really comfortable space. It's like being in a boutique hotel room that can offer that. You can stay in there for a week or 2 weeks at a time easily without using bigger cooking facilities.
No issue. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I'll take you upstairs.
So we're on to this is first floor.
First floor.
Is there any major considerations for you then from like a building control point of view because of the amount of floors you're on, or?
No, so apparently over 18 metres, it gets horrendously expensive for your fire considerations.
Right.
But as we're not, there's still going to be, you know, looking like some sort of wet or dry sprinkler system that will have to be put in place.
Yeah.
But it's not as frighteningly as expensive as buildings over that height, basically, which apparently can kill a deal, can kill a project.
Yeah.
So I might be being naive. But I'm fairly optimistic about it, to be honest. So this, same as below, but smaller windows. So as you can see, we've got the other one had to come to this point here on the column, whereas this one can, you know, come to here or come to there and use that space down there as well. So it gained an extra bedroom in here.
Right, yeah, just because of the window configuration,
Yeah. Which is, it's not massive, but what happens as well is it creates a different offering.
Yeah.
There's a smaller room offering, there's a bigger room offering. They're not all identical, and then you're competing against yourself.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of people say the building's so big, why haven't you got 20, 30 bedrooms in and stuff? But the way I see it, high rent, high quality, and standing out from the crowd. Who else in Ashton's got a gym? Who else has got a co-working space?
Cinema room.
Cinema room, all this. It's keeping the demand there, and eventually I think this place will suit single bed flats, you know, 1 bed, 2 bed flats or something like that. But at this moment in time, the market doesn't demand that in terms of rental, but also in terms of end values. This is what it is at the moment, but we will turn it back one day, I reckon, if we keep, you know, it might be 10 years, might be 20 years.
Is that been in consideration from the design point of view then, to be able to turn that back?
Not on purpose, but it is a factor where I go, well, they already qualified to be bed sits if I wanted. Mechanical extract and they're already there. So it's just less of a rejig about and stuff like that. But it's all just options.
Yeah. Which, from what you've said. You know, the list's pretty endless with this place, isn't it?
Yeah.
What you can do.
And the amount of space covers things like whatever services we need to put in and stuff like that. We've got the room to do it.
Yeah.
What's really handy is because of the large ceiling heights is if we put en suites in, we can put a water tank above every single en suite in just on that ceiling, and there's room enough there. You know, and it's all hidden away. No one sees it.
No one sees any of the stuff.
There's places to root everything out, and that it's just being blessed by space, really.
Yeah. Like you say, the ceiling height and stuff. And what about these pillars in the middle? Are they staying?
So I think that's like they get incorporated in with the stud walls is what we've done with it. Yeah. So really happy. The architect's done a great job. I mean, that's what they're there for, isn't it? To do stuff that you can't come up with yourself. That's
not where you want to scrimp and save on your architect, is it?
Yeah. She moved by moving 1 door on the ground floor. That's what she gave me, that, you know, that extra.
So $3 grand.
Yeah. She just moved 1 door, and I'd looked at those plans. for months and months and months and
Racking your
couldn't come
brain.
up with that. And
Yeah,
she just went bang, bang. It's like, it's cost me, what, £2,000 to move a door?
How, because I know, because this is how I first seen about your project, was on Facebook, and there was a bit of pushback from certain people.
Yeah.
How have you found that?
I think you just got to laugh about it, haven't you?
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm hoping that nothing escalates. So basically, what's happened is planning went on, local paper or news outlet, whatever it is, said, published the story. And
Did they speak to you about that before they published it?
No.
Classic.
They tried to message me afterwards and say, get your take on it. I thought, no point me putting my name on the building and you know, getting under attack and stuff. So yeah, basically they published the story and were selective in the words they used, which encouraged load of comments of it's going to be used for illegal immigrants and load of racist undertones going on and all this jazz. Ignored the fact that it was reference to doctors and the demand and a high-end professional there. And even if it was being used for the social housing or assisted living side of things, like, why not? If that's what the market dictates, that's what the market needs, that's what it wants. But that's not the plan with this one anyway. Not that I'm not open to it, I just don't. I think with the higher values that we're looking at, I think... and
the building and the opportunity.
Yeah. But that was my first sort of taste of it. I've heard other property guys complain about it and suffer some abuse, and I got my fair share.
Nice. It'll be all worth it when we get through planning. Let's just go and have a little nosy out at the high street. The big IKEA over there as well.
So that's a huge sort of retail park where that IKEA is. Loads and loads of big businesses and stuff like that there, which is pretty good. Like I say, there's a big Tameside Hospital's a stone's throw away as well. In terms of in the vicinity, it's a really big town centre, and there's the vast majority of shops are full as well, which is good, but I wouldn't say it, the most desirable area in terms of, it's like where I live now, like there's not particularly really nice bars I want to go and have a drink in, or restaurants, but there's one or two nice little ones that stand out, and I think this is the same. It's on the way up, there's loads of investment. Don't know if you can see down there where it says like Lady Smith's or something, that's all been knocked down. And there's a huge open market there at the moment, and they're making it one of these like really funky, trendy ones. And
a bit like Altrincham.
That's right, but on a much larger scale. That's the indoor market and an indoor shopping centre down there. And that's, like I say, all just being reinvested. So that's going to help.
It feels like, I don't know, it feels like, to me, it feels like a standard place in the northwest of England. It's just like a normal town which is going through a bit of a regeneration. Yeah,
that's right. You get a better view of it upstairs as well. Like I say, it's an old market town. There's beautiful, like this building, and there's a load of period features, period buildings as well.
So
there's loads of opportunity.
I mean, the buildings around here, some of them are massive. I mean, obviously this one, the one over the road, that's huge. Some of the old ones are really big
and so ripe for conversion as well. I've had, like I say, planning isn't back yet, but I've had really nice communications with the planning department and just the local council in general, the development department, the people that are in charge of the regeneration of the area. Because I asked them, would you like me this building to be anything specific? I'll see if I can make it work. And they're really receptive of it. So for me, I'm targeting this area. This is going to be, I'm going to find another one of these and rinse and repeat it.
Stop playing Monopoly.
That's exactly it. When you've got a council like that, a mate of mine bought a place in Denton, which is the same council, and he's going to make an indoor food hall and market out of it. And they were so receptive of that, and planning decision actually came back 2 weeks early on it.
Wow.
Like, it's just unheard of. So they're really game. Like I say, the guy who I met who showed me around this building, he said he's worked in sort of every Greater Manchester council going, and he said these are by far the most proactive and the best ones, the game. And speaks volumes that if that is the case, it's a potential gold mine.
Nice. I mean, when it comes to this building and converting stuff and working with the council, is there any sort of grants and stuff you can get?
That's why I first spoke to them, basically. It was being wishful thinking, and they had a bit of taste in their mouth about the price they've got for it, because I bought it from the council.
Right, okay.
And they mentioned as well, I was on a Zoom with them all, and I got a good price there, and there's a lot of people weren't too happy about it. Basically, they'd hired consultants in. He said, we need a refresh, we need a plan, cost saving and an investment plan. there. So these guys have come from nowhere and had a review of the assets. So the council were operating this building as a bit of, if someone had got a criminal record at a younger age and didn't want to go down that route, they'd come to this place, they'd learn a few skills, this, that and the other. I think they did a bit of sexual health work as well, because down that bottom and there's pictures of cocks and condoms stuck to the wall and all sorts of stuff. So I think there was a bit of like education,
bit of a rehabilitation,
offer them skills and this, that and the other. It was some sort of youth centre. So they knew the building, but that funding had gone for the youth centre. They deciding whether they were going to keep it themselves and repurpose it with all the investment that's going on, like I said earlier, the pedestrianised stuff. And then these guys who had been in the council on a consultancy basis for a couple of months only, basically just handpicked a load of assets and went, put that in auction, get rid of that, get rid of that.
Fire sale.
So they were all distraught with how it went. That's why the auction pack came on so late. I saw from the auction pack, the council bought this building for 780 grand in 2007.
Wow.
Yeah, so, you know, that was another indicator for me to know that 340 grand was a good price.
No problem,
in the private market, someone just wouldn't let that go at that price, really. But, you know, this is the council, so.
Yeah, enough said.
Yeah, happy days.
Enough said, yeah.
Should we go upstairs? I'll show you that.
Yeah.
I actually got, when you said that about grants, I looked at that building there and it's like beautiful stonework, and I was like, there's no way a private landlord has bothered spending that money, you know, like doing that up, because the end values just don't seem to be there on all the original stone. But it was either in perfect condition, he's just cleaned it. This is, a lot of it's brilliant, but not as perfect as that.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
But that's been blasted and all sorts, so I thought that's sure the council on the grant funding. So they basically told me that they'd be very, very open to doing something like that. But at the moment they didn't have a grant funding in place, but just to keep checking in with them.
Keep asking them. Yeah.
But I mean, you'll see outside if you had a closer look, like it just largely needs a clean. Most of it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So this is another funky space and free. It's a 3-bed HMO that's going on in here.
Oh, wow.
So everything that's not been painted woodwork wise that we can see is basically, it's not structural. I thought that was structural when I saw it. And they basically said someone's put it in because they thought it's going to do something, but it's not. The fact that it's been braced, that's doing everything. And these poles here, that's doing absolutely nothing. So the structural engineers come in, signed it off, that we can get rid of all of them. And we're like keeping the other ones, everything that is painted in. And basically down here, like this is like a door here or something like that. This is one of the bedrooms.
Oh, right, okay.
Little ensuite in the corner, bed there, naturally there's already a window.
Oh, wow. That'd be beautiful.
I think what we do is we take some off the stairs there basically and make that a bit of floor space. So it's not the biggest. These are the smallest rooms up here, but with all those taken out, bit of storage there and this, that and the other, it's a really nice space.
Like you said before about, you know, if you're a single doctor, first year, by yourself, want to keep costs low, but you want somewhere nice, do you know what I mean?
It's still over 15 metres square, so it's still you know, but it's just, it feels a bit smaller because of the reduced head heights, but you know, you're gaining.
Sound for me, mate.
So behind there is the lift, and there's also a huge space, probably the size of this area we're in again, that's just void.
Right.
So again, any sort of services that need to be put in there or water tank, there's options through there.
And I assume you're taking the lift out then?
Leaving the lift in.
Just leaving it?
So I'm either just going to cover it up, allow people to use it, and I'll service it, but say, like, write in the contract that if this goes,
when it's done, it's done.
I'm not spending 150 grand on another lift, basically. But so the lift's like 15 years old. It's fully serviceable. All the parts still exist, so you can get more parts for it and stuff like that, so it's great. But they say like a lift lasts about 20 years, and then from then everything will start needing replacing. If it needs replacing, the motor needs replacing, whatever, that's fine. But all of a sudden, if the motor becomes obsolete, that's when it's not fine. So again, like, beautiful sort of rooftop view up here. You see other buildings with beautiful period features like this. This roof we've got is in absolutely amazing condition, and original slate things on it as well. I've had a roofer sort bits out, but yeah, it's nice, and it's like a nice big town. So just behind that white building there is where the hospital is.
Right, okay. Yeah.
So we'll see what they say about this. Like I say, it's 3 bedrooms at the moment, but it might just be like an awesome Airbnb. Because how funky it is. There's 1 bedroom there. In this area we are in now is basically the lounge area. There's basically like a sofa there, TV there, and then like I say, we come through this bit and it starts running the kitchen along here through this corridor. It's not massive because the kitchen and the lounge is only for 3 people. There's another bedroom in this space here, there and there. And then there's one more in this space down here, and there's also, that one's got an ensuite. And I think these are the only 2 that share a bathroom. It's quite a big bathroom in like that corner there or something. These are the only 2 that share, but that one gets its own as well.
Wow.
And I think there's potential. There might even be like a freestanding bathtub or something that you could put in one of them as well. But yeah, like I say, it's quirky and there's bits to do, but having like the beams on show and stuff like that, I think makes up for the sloping roof.
Yeah, it definitely adds like a period feature to it, doesn't it? Like it's nice and old school.
And a 3-bed HMO rather than a 6 or 7. Again, it's just a completely different offering to the others. So there's really large room size. There's medium to large room sizes, and then this is a smaller sharer, bit of a smaller. Bit different, and again, if I find that it doesn't work or doesn't work enough, I think like either one massive flat or an Airbnb, like a 3-bed Airbnb.
Yeah, spin on top.
It would work really, really well, given the views, given the Velux windows. Yeah,
and then given the other stuff, you know, the gym, all that stuff. You know, Airbnb, someone's coming to work for a week or 2 or whatever.
That's it. I don't, you know, it is really near the Peak District, but I don't think walkers are going to be coming in here and using it as a holiday destination. I don't think that, but I think on the with how much redevelopment's going on, the amount of contractors that are going to be from out of town coming in, you know, all just want digs, want a bed each and stuff like that. But it's a cheaper offering, but they still have a kitchen and stuff like that, and it's got a gym. And anyone who works away, you know, they hate the fact they can't cook in their own place. They can't exercise, and you know,
own bathrooms as well if they're all ensuited.
I think it's got good leg.
You've got the options, haven't you? Which is the important thing.
I hope so.
Which is the important thing. So big key milestones planning, and then and I suppose from your point of view then it's nailing in build cost, and then you're going to decide on strategy then, whether it's planning gain or whether you're going to go for it.
That's right, mate. Like I say, the planning gain and spinning has just never been in my remit before. I've always, even my developments, I've always wanted to keep them. You know, like that's just my mindset.
Point of the game, isn't it?
It's point of my game. But like I say, a mate of mine's a really, really, really successful trader, and he couldn't bear the thought of holding anything. So he's sort of coached me into the concept of selling it and going. He'd tell me how successful it is compared to all of his trades, over 1,000 trades. You know, he's like, it'll be in my top 5% now. Right. So he's like, and that was on my worst case, and then if it's actually at my best case. So he's just like, if you ever want to add another, you know, string to your bow and learn a new skill and a mindset, he was like, this is the one to do it on. And then, you know, it might be a full-on new strategy for you that you either implement some of the time or all the time. When he put it like that, I thought, wow.
But then,
he is helping me.
Could you live with yourself coming past this place, knowing you sold it? Do you know what I mean?
That's, you know, like I said, this when I bought this and staring at the period features outside and going, this is stunning. I know that it can be flats one day or whatever. I know it's placed in the city centre of Manchester and Liverpool now. I'm going, my building actually looks the same as that. Like, it's that good. Like, this is one legacy thing for the kids, and then also just think that's just ego talking. It's a load of bullshit. It's a load of nonsense. Like, what makes sense is guaranteed profit, making money, not having the weight and the stress of up to £1 million in development going on 100% borrowed funds as well. Go to the next one. Maybe do you want a bit smaller, build it all out. If it can't sell, build it out. If it does sell again, sell it again. So, you know. There's just, like I say, that the beauty of this place, the beauty for this project is there's unlimited options, and it doesn't mean they all come off, but it means they can all be explored. And I learn so much from just owning this asset. Even up to this point. You can learn about it, you know, in a classroom. And I did, to the degree that got me the knowledge to buy it, but then actually here and having to make the decisions and go, I didn't think about that, and learning on the job and again open up to all of the possibilities, showing people around who might want to buy, showing the guys who are considering services and like M&E consultants and stuff, and listening to the conversation. And normally I'm just like, you figure it out and let me know what it is, but you have to sort of, they're all scratching their heads as well, because it's such a big job. Learn a lot, and like I say, the possibilities are endless. And like I say, it doesn't mean the definite options, but you learn new processes, strategies, what things that could be possible that you can apply to the next one. So I've loved it, I really have. And I'd be gutted if I let it go. Yeah, I would be gutted. Like, but at the same time, you know, what's the next one going to bring as a result? It could be bigger, could be better. Can't keep them all.
And that's it'd be interesting if you do keep it. We'll come back mid-build and we'll have a chat, because I think at that point you'll be like, I should have just flipped this. Fucking hell.
I'm already hanging on to the last few hairs, but I'll have none at that point. So,
But it's pros and cons, and that's you mentioned about prosperity before. That's one of the good things about being part of that. There's so many people, you know, and that's the thing. There's people in the community who will do every option with this, and it's interesting to bounce ideas off them, because there will be some people who would just flip it. There'll be some people who'll be like, yeah, I know, yeah, let's get balls deep in the development. Like,
every single one of these options basically has come from someone in that network, including the architect. So Ollie Adams was the trader I was talking about. He's one telling me about this. Like, everyone's from the network and everyone has their own take on it, and it might even be sold as a planning gain to someone in the network.
Who wants to develop it.
Someone else who wants to take it on, who's got more experience doing it. So yeah, it's a phenomenal place to be.
Nice. Well, thank you very much.
Top man.
Thank you very much, Joe. Thank you very much. That was a belter.